All right, guys, how you doing this morning? Thank you for joining me again. So today's, or rather this morning's midweek report is going to be pretty short. Probably going to be maybe 15, 20 minutes. So it's not going to be too long. So again, thank you for joining me. And let's start out with how do I sound? Because clearly using this webcam on the computer is shitty. All right, I hear a dog. You do hear the dog? Very good. So that means the mic is working. So, all right, let's get to the start of it. So, last night we talked about Bob Saget's autopsy report, right? So, I'm not going to go over that again. If you actually want to hear, I guess, my opinion and what actually happened, you can go to that live stream and, go towards the end. Fast forward towards the end, and you'll see, you'll hear about what my stance was on it. So, anyway, interestingly enough, this morning, I look at the Post, and Bob Saget's family is suing the Florida, I guess, investigations or police department, whatever it is, from releasing photos attached to those to that autopsy report. I guess they're saying it's going to cause, irreversible damage, and my thing is just don't look at it. But not the point. The bottom of the article, it looks like now there's momentum growing with the way he died, according to the report. I think one part of me thinks that the autopsy report, was overblown, just to steer us away from the conspiracy theories. Another side of me is thinking maybe something else happened and they're covering up. Nonetheless, there are a lot of people now. There's growing skeptics out there about the way he died. So his family wants those photos to be stopped, and I think they want them to be stopped because they want to probably hire a private investigator now to look into this, because this is just, again, weird. Again, according to the autopsy report, with the amount of fractures found in his skull, one doctor was suggesting that he was A, beat with a baseball bat, or B, fell 20 to 30 feet out of a window. So that's very interesting. Well, Johnny, I don't think it's the media in this case. I think it's somebody else covering it up. I definitely don't think it's the media covering this one up. They, listen, the media does cover shit up, but this might not be the one that they're actually trying to cover up. This might be something higher up. So, with that, switching gears, Chris Cuomo was fired from CNN. So, I'm a little confused because I thought he was already fired. And then now they're saying that there was some sexual assault or attempted rape or something like that during a lunchtime gathering. So, I don't know. The Chris Cuomo, listen, the CNN fiasco or destruction or the apocalypse of CNN is pretty awesome, because they are falling apart at the seams, man. I mean, like, really. Christian Prepper. I don't know if those pictures show signs of trauma. They said that there was no trauma, but now there's pictures that they're going to release. I don't know. Like I said, what's going on? Again, it's a little weird. It's a little weird that now, like, I don't know. Again, it's all confusing. If are the photos going to show signs of trauma? Who knows? But how do the cops and the medical examiner on the first day say there's no sign of traumas, right? So, and then here we go. So whatever. Again, it's just very. This case is very weird, and it's definitely going to pique more people's interest without fail. Bronx Cheer says, good news. Unjabbed United Air pilot was on suspension Received an email welcoming him back to work. He hasn't been rescheduled to fly yet. That's from Bronx Cheers. He just left that message in the chat. The screen is black, but you guys can hear me? Okay, on my end, I can see everything. I know someone said it was a little bit of buffering. Now someone says the screen is black. It might be glitching on your side, because on my side, I think it's good to go. Maria Jackson, again, hotel walls, we know they're not fucking, soundproof. So who knows? Actually, no, that's a lie. Some hotel walls are. Celebrities do tend to stay in those high-end suites that have soundproofing walls, so you can't hear shit. There is that. So, but I don't know. We don't know what kind of room he stayed in. We don't know what floor he was on. We don't know anything other than they found him on a bed and there was no trauma. Now he has severe trauma. Now everybody's raising an eyebrow. So that's a good thing, I guess. Privacy Century. Can I go back to the fire department? No. So this is what happens when you retire. You're retiring on your own accord. So you're retiring. It's entirely up to you. Had I would have rolled this thing out and got fired, and then they would have reversed all this, then I probably could have gotten my job back. But being that they fired 1,400 guys, and I have a video being released at 11 o'clock, by the way, on the Angry Truths channel. I'm sorry, 11:10 on the Angry Truths channel about the 1,436 employees that were fired. That's at 11. I think it's 11:10, and then I have an 11 o'clock, and those both premieres. I have an 11 o'clock premiere on the Angry Prepper channel, but I will not be attending the premieres because I will be on with was it Trade Cat Night, right? That's a podcaster that I'm on once a month. So that's where you guys will find me at 11 o'clock. So I won't be on my premieres tonight. But anyway, when you leave on your own, you can't reverse it. So let's just say they drop all the mandates and they tell those people who were fired to come back. I can't throw my hat in that ring and come back because, again, I left on my own, right? If I would have waited for them to fire me, I would have had a case. But I don't have a case because the law or the judge is going to look at it that you left on your own and no one forced you out. Even though it was a forced retirement, I probably could have stayed, wrote it out, and got fired. Would have probably been the better option. But why play that game? And then with Eric Adams firing people, who knows what the courts are going to do? Who knows if they're going to even side with people? And no, I cannot reapply to the FDNY. I'm too old now. So listen. That ship has sailed. It's gone. Going back is not an option anymore. It would have been cool, but it's not an option. So it is what it is. Frazio, yeah, it was a forced retirement, but the law doesn't care, you know. And Frugal Fixer, yes, Adams is a piece of shit. And you say he's a piece of work, but yeah, he's a piece of shit. Listen, they could have gave those people a fucking an exemption. The 1,400 people, they could have gave them an exemption and it would have been all right. But instead, he fired them. So what does that say about him? Right? It says he's a piece of shit. He's another one on my list of fucking ass cancer dyers or people that die from ass cancer. Sorry, but whatever. Please move to Florida. Cynthia, like we're looking into Texas right now. Florida is on the table if Texas doesn't work out. Eastern and Mistal, that's Tennessee, right? Unapologetic vegan. I told my boss I was still capable of doing the job I was hired to do, so they would have to fire me. So that's what they did. No shit. Sorry to hear that. Yes, Frugal, he's a dictator. He's a dick. He's a bag of shit. The whole 9 yards. The Ass Cancer Diaries Club. I support the Ass Cancer Diaries Club. It's just it's a shame that these people go out of their way to do the damage they do. Right? I mean, really, it's the amount of uh, fuck yous to people that politicians do is insane. It's but whatever. That's a gripe for an actual live stream. Let's get back to what's going on. All right, guys. So, with that being said, there was a New York City woman who was killed the other day. So we're switching gears. So there was a New York City woman who was killed the other day. She was followed into her building after getting out of a cab from a night out, and she was probably home around 4 in the morning. With that, she starts to get attacked, right? So the attacker or the suspect attacks her in her apartment after following her up 6 flights to her apartment. He proceeds to stab her, and this lady, and now listen, and I have to admit that I'm assuming that she was screaming for help. Now she was screaming. Doom Rude, that wasn't a Jamaican lady. This was an Asian lady that was killed a few days ago, probably 6, 7 days ago now, a week, right? And she gets up to her apartment, and the guy attacks her. She starts screaming. The guy's stabbing her, and the guy stabbed her over 40 times. The suspect, sorry. So, he's stabbing her. She's screaming. She lives in, if I'm not mistaken, a 6-story tenement. So if you guys don't know what a 6-story tenement is, it's just a regular apartment building that you would see on TV, like in New York City, Chicago. It's a 6-story tenement, but it's a small tenement. It's a narrow building, right? So if anybody in this building, and I live in a fairly big building, if anybody in this building is screaming on anybody's floor, we can hear it. And obviously, a lot of us will come out of our apartment and investigate, intervene, do whatever needs to be done. That's this building. This building was downtown in Christie Street, which is loaded with hipsters, the bitches of the world, who prove me right every chance they get. Because as this lady's getting attacked, no one came out to help her. No one came out to stop what was going on. Instead, somebody called the cops, big fucking whoop, but everybody else stayed indoors while this lady was screaming her fucking head off and being attacked. And her neighbors, they heard, and I mean her neighbors on that floor, they heard her. But what did they do? They rolled over. One guy says, I thought I heard somebody screaming, but I didn't think anything of it. Are you fucking kidding me? So, whatever, guys. Needless to say, the guy gets caught. The guy has psych issues. I don't know. It's insane the amount of killings that are going on here. The amount of unprovoked killings. So yes, there is something called provoked. It's not called provoked killing, but there is something when you provoke somebody to kill you, like a gang member. You stare at somebody the wrong way. They consider that being provoked. You step on their shoes. You say some shit to them. You get into a fight. But this lady was coming home minding her fucking business, just like the Jamaican lady that Doom Rooter was talking about. The Jamaican lady who's walking to work and gets stabbed in her back. This lady was fucking getting attacked and no one helped her. All right? We are seeing the biggest pussification ever in the history of man in this country. Now, I know that a lot of people who lived outside of the city, if they would have heard that, they would have probably jumped in. They would have probably investigated at the very least to see what the fuck was going on. This is how, I guess, how fast it happened. The cops got there and the suspect was hiding under the bed. He jumped out from under the bed and tried to run out of the window onto the fire escape. Too bad the window had a fire escape, because then he could have taken a fucking 6-story drop. But whatever. Not the point. The point is that this shit happened so quick, and we have fucking pussies who didn't help. And even some of the women. I have to say, some of the women were fucking straight cowards and pussies as well. Because a lot of women, especially here in New York City, I'm a strong woman. I'm a 2022 woman. I could do anything a man can do. Well, bitch, you should have gotten that apartment and helped that fucking lady out. But you didn't. You had a lot of hipsters in that building that didn't help that lady out. So what does that say about the men today? At least New York City men. I know a lot of people are being told, "Oh, well, just mind your business. Don't worry about it. It let the cops handle it." Well, if somebody would have intervened instead of 40 stabs, it might have been 2 or 3, might have been 6, but it wouldn't have been 40. So again, this lady is now dead for fucking what? Because a psych patient who was roaming the streets, who shouldn't have been in the streets, should have been in the psych ward, taking its meds and watching The View. Because that's what crazy people do. They take their meds and they watch The View. So let's move right along. Now we're going to talk about the celebrities at the Super Bowl not wearing a mask. Now a lot of people have it taking issues with it, but if you weren't paying attention, then you didn't see the other people in the stands who weren't wearing a mask as well. So they weren't enforcing the mask mandate in that stadium. I've watched people in the crowd. Some people had their mask on. A lot of people did. Celebrities, though, I know that none of them had their mask on. So, yeah, people are calling it hypocrisy. But I said, listen, they have to say legally that you have to wear a mask and that you had to be vaccinated and you had to be tested. Legally, they have to say that. I guess it's to keep out of trouble, whatever it is. But they weren't enforcing it. And it wasn't just celebrities that weren't wearing a mask. And I hate to jump on the side of, I guess, or I hate to jump on the opposite side of those complaining. But a lot of people are calling this hypocrisy. It's not so much hypocrisy, they just weren't enforcing the rules. Johnny says they weren't even asking for vaccine passports. No shit. That's good. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. I guess. Right. But again, guys, it is a hypocrisy in the sense that yeah, they were telling people elsewhere, everywhere else that you got to wear a mask, but this isn't the case. Somebody said $6,000 to park your car at the Super Bowl. Holy shit, that's crazy. That's very crazy. All right, guys, do me a favor. We're at that point. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I really don't care. Super tired today. Stayed up super late trying to cram in. I'm trying to edit as many videos as I possibly can so I can release them while I'm gone. And then like 2 more things happen, so I have 2 more videos to do. So I'm just like sort of burning the candle at both ends. But that's just for the week. Actually, just till tomorrow. And then tomorrow I get to relax after we land in Texas. Yeah, Sherry. Listen, I mean, back to that situation. You have to help. I mean, I don't know. I don't get the not helping out shit. I really don't understand the fucking like listening to somebody having blood curdling screams. I mean, the screams of somebody fucking being scared, attacked, and and we've heard those screams before. Some of us have heard those screams before. To not help is fucking insanity to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. Falcon One. We'll be looking at an apartment in Texas while we're there. Not saying that we're gonna move there right away. We're visiting her sister, and then we're gonna just take a look around Texas while we're there in the areas of Houston and Austin. Bronx Cheer. Who's taking care of the dog? We got somebody from Rover to take care of the dog. So yeah, yeah, some lady on Rover. So I mean, hopefully that works out. I hate having him being taken care of other people by other people. I really do, but I really really hate putting him in one of those dog kennels that take when you go on vacation you put your dogs in a dog kennel. We had him in PetSmart, and I didn't like PetSmart. I thought every time we got him back, he was weird, and he would act weird. Sorry. And the crazy shit about it was like you would tell him, he needs 2 to 3 walks a day, and you would pay for that. I'm 1,000% sure, man. They didn't do that. They didn't walk him. So whatever. Now we take him to people who like they'll take pictures of him outside. They'll take pictures of him throughout the day, and text them to you so that you could see that they're actually doing something with the dog. So that is the upside to the whole Rover thing. I just hate leaving him with people who are not family, right? So anyway, with that, um, let's move to the next subject. So anyway, guys, the celebrity no mask thing. I don't think it's a real big deal. I think people are making it a bigger deal than it is. We have bigger issues to worry about. Celebrities who are probably being hypocrites, or rather the stadium who are being hypocrites, even though they weren't enforcing it throughout the entire stadium. Right? Like I said before, they weren't enforcing it. So actually, no one was being a hypocrite. So this is a non-factor. This is something that we shouldn't even be worried about. I was going to do a video on it. I'm still thinking about it because, the amount of people reporting it, they're saying this is bullshit. This is. I'm like, it's not. They weren't fucking enforcing anything. They weren't enforcing it with anyone. So whatever, man. It's just one of those things that even the right like to complain about. Terry, I heard about that. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to be happy about that, but whatever. Uh, Cincinnati. Sorry, Cynthia said, yeah, Rover. Better with Rover. PetSmart's not best. Yes, PetSmart was. I didn't trust him. Let's put it like that. I really didn't trust him. So, and I think the first time we went, he was good, but the second time, I just noticed that they were probably not walking him. To boot, he's not neutered, so he has to be by himself with PetSmart. He can't mingle with other dogs. So that's always a fucking problem. But whatever. Neither here or there. All right, so moving right along. Let's talk about the GiveSendGo. Right, so the GiveSendGo mess, I touched on it yesterday. They had something interesting developed. They were hacked by a hacker who shut the site down and froze the use of the money for the Freedom Convoy. So I think they shut down the entire website, not just for the Freedom Convoy in Canada. They did it across the entire website. So the website was locked. The users were locked out of the website. The owners of the website were locked out of the website. And interestingly enough, the hacker left a message. Let's see if I can pull up this message because I'm just going to read the first part of the message. I'm just going to read the first part, and then because it's a lot. But interesting, like this hacker, guys. Hackers don't. I mean, like, hackers usually stand on the side of against tyranny, and this shit was just fucking. This shit was just fucking insane. So let's see if I can find it. I found it yesterday. But they've raised like $8 million for the. They raised $8 million for the truckers, and with that, it was frozen. So it's just interesting, guys, that this shit went down, and then the Canadian president enacts the Emergency Act, and at the same time, I'm thinking somebody's in cahoots with these dudes. All right, let's see one more thing, and then if not, you'll see it in the video. Let's see. I can't find it. There was like this dossier at the beginning of the thing, and they what they did was they hacked the site. They put a picture of Frozen, the Disney movie Frozen, in the background, and then there was like this, these people are terrorists kind of deal. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Like again, this hackers don't normally do shit like that, and yet these hackers were. I don't know. I was a little shocked. All I can say was I was shocked. Let's see. I can't find it. Like I said, I'll find it when I do the what you call it. I will find it for you guys then. But you'll see it in the videos. Let's put it like that. And I'll be releasing the video probably next week sometime, or later this week sometime. Sorry. But yeah, it was. Found it because I'm a smart motherfucker. Anyway, so it says this is what it reads, guys. It says, "Attention, GiveSendGo grifters and hatriots. The Canadian government has informed you that the money you assholes raised to fund an insurrection is frozen." And in the background of this image is from the movie Frozen. TD Bank has frozen several accounts. You helped fund the January 6th insurrection in the U.S. You helped fund insurrection in Ottawa. In fact, you are committed to funding anything that keeps the raging fire of misinformation going until that it burns. The world's collective democracies down. Democracy's down. Okay. On behalf of sane people worldwide who wish to continue living in democracy, I am now telling you that GiveSendGo itself is frozen. So this is from the hacker. Now, I personally think they got to find the hacker and beat the balls off of him. Senseless. And the problem with hackers is they're me personally, they're like the biggest cowards on the planet. People are like, oh, they're revolutionary. No, they're not. Because they're hiding behind a computer doing shit. And some of them will tell you who they are. Some of them don't give a fuck. But hackers, in the case of this guy here, bad news. A communist hacker. I would have never thought in a million years. Usually hackers are against socialism and communism and for freedom and want to jam up the government. Instead, they're working for the government. In this case, they're working for the government. It's just insane. Again, when I do the video, you'll see the post on the screen. Hopefully they don't take it down. I might demonetize the video myself just to avoid this one getting taken down. Yes, guys, I don't know, but Trudeau's is I mean, listen, he's another one. He's on the Ass Cancer Dire list, right? He's another piece of shit, turning this storyline or this narrative around to make these guys look like enemies. It's a piece of shit thing to do. But again, this is what the politicians of today's world are doing. They're stabbing everyone in the back. They're fucking everyone they can. And then they're, they're being jerks about it. Or more than jerks about it, actually. With that being said, guys, we are going to go off right now. We are at the 28-minute mark. Again, this is the mid-morning reports. I will not have one next week because I'll be flying back next Wednesday. So there won't be a mid-morning week report next week. There probably will be one live stream while I'm in Texas somewhere. Don't know if I'll do one walking around somebody's neighborhood or I'll do one from the hotel lobby or some shit like that. I don't know yet. But we will see. Other than that, guys, I do appreciate you guys, following me this morning. It's kind of fucking early. And I do appreciate you guys and the donations and the respect and the support. I know with all of the bullshit going on, you guys have been supporting one another. You guys have been supporting me. And I'm talking about emotionally, not, monetarily. So I do appreciate that as well. All right, guys. So other than that, again, thank you for KDS. I'll be in the area of Houston, actually Katy, Texas, Houston, and Austin. That's the area I'll be in. All right, guys? So other than that, thank you for watching.